Okay, so this is the second half of the huge adaptation of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows that WB decided to split into two films. The issue? The first half stands up on its own really well as a film. The second one? Well, it's awesome, but it'll always feel like the second half of a larger piece. In this one, Harry, Hermione, Ron, and Griphook the Goblin break into Gringotts to retrieve the Sword of Gryffindor and another Horcrux, the Hufflepuff Cup, and have a daring escape on the back of a dragon. They destroy the cup and head to Hogwarts, where Harry now knows the next Horcrux, the Ravenclaw diadem, is, as well as Voldemort himself and his Snake Nagini, which is the last Horcrux. What follows is a huge standoff and an epic battle that takes up the majority of the film, with Harry and Voldemort going head-to-head for an extended period, many characters dying, some awesome special effects, and Harry getting his own death and resurrection scene. Sort of. Things happen pretty much the same way as in the book, just at different times, and in some ways slightly different ways. I know there was a lot of furor about where Snape died, and I'm like, who gives a rat's ass? They get the scene right, but you're upset that it happened in a different location? Are you an ass? But, whatever. The movie does have some quiet moments, such as the Snape's Memories portion and the parley between Harry and Dumbledore in Limbo. And it has its over-the-top moments, such as Ron's mom blasting Bellatrix into smithereens and Voldemort's extended death scene, which instead of just slumping to the ground, he slowly disintegrates like a Final Fantasy last boss. All that's missing is the screen shaking. There is, of course, also the 19 years later scene, which shows the characters as adults with their own kids and whatnot, which is a nice scene, but like in the book, it's a bit too short. Overall, this is the big spectacular finish that we all waited for. It's just hobbled by the fact that 70% of the book was used for the first film, and this is basically the last two action sequences and the ending. While Part 1 is my favorite of the series, and it stands on its own as the dark chapter before the end, Part 2 is just Part 2. So I recommend, if you watch them, you gotta watch them together. 8 out of 10.